Now, this is another deck that I've been wanting to circle back to this for a long time. I can't believe it's taken us this long. Like we I think we played one league with this deck in 4-1. Like we 4-1 with an Aether Vial Loch Mare deck, and I don't know how it took us this long to circle back to it. It feels like we never really even talk about it. But this deck was kind of awesome. Like you're leaning more into Aether Vial as a power engine than like Felia Quantum Riddler. And Aether Vial is very good with White Orchid Phantom, Loch Mare, Wan Shi Tong. And I think that one thing I really like about this build is like just how good Ranger-Captain is right now and how good Ranger-Captain is with Aether Vial. Like your ability to go like Captain Vial in your one drop immediately, or Vial in the Ranger-Captain at instant speed in response to like a Cascader, I think is really cool. Since we played the deck last, and of cutting the subtleties, which I don't think are as good for main deck Force of Negations, I'm playing a third Skyclave in the main. Kind of want to play a fourth in the main. Right now I'm playing 3 main, 1 side. Sideboard went through some pretty big updates. Or some big updates. If they don't have profane tutors, what could you play? You could test flow state. You could play bitter reunion. You could play more removal, more discard spells. Let's get in there. But yeah, I thought this deck like just looked and played so good, and we just didn't give it enough attention. So I might be doing 2 leagues with this one. We'll see. I don't think cutting 2s for 3s makes sense. Okay, we're gonna mulligan the 6 lander. I guess we keep this. Not in love with it. I think I'll probably just surveil turn 1. It would be really nice if we could find like a 1 or a White Orchid Phantom to get some advantage turn 2, or I could maybe just find yeah, I can take an Aether Vial. A little slow, but I think it's fine to just double spell next turn. Is Spellcore 2 washed? Yes. Get the Moxfield up to date. Do you think I'm just going to cast the Guide of Souls here instead of waiting to Vial? I might draw another 1-drop and want to go Vial plus 3-drop next turn. Now, we're not necessarily looking great against a Hedge Maze here. We could get Neoformed. We could be up against Creativity. Aang is not so good against Creativity. Yeah, it looks like it is Living End. Now, we do have in the sideboard High Noons and Teferis and Consigns in addition to our main deck Ranger Captains. So it should be like a pretty dang reasonable matchup overall. Which Enchanter? Have I talked with the new lands? A little bit. I think that they're interesting. Is there no Ajani Steelcutter build that works? We played in a Ajani Steelcutter build. I wouldn't say I was particularly impressed by it. Actually, how does Aang against a Wistfulness work? Do they get I guess we'll find out, but I don't know if they get the ability to I don't know if they have the ability to use one of the modes or not, but I think it's a fine spot to go for this. Poorly, they're able to get I guess they just get the big version too. Although that matters a lot less against Living End. That's actually maybe just an upside. They still get the effect. Wait, what did they play this untapped for? Main deck Dismember? They do spend mana on it. Yeah, I guess that checks out. So I'm 1 mana short of waterbending the Aang. Not that I would necessarily. I guess I probably would do it here. Because our draw is pretty clunky. I guess just so they're just cycling something. It's obviously. I don't know why it's like just the untapped sync for some reason threw me off. They're down to 10. They pass the turn back. I like having the Skyclave to deal with the Curator at the very least. We're gonna need to find a Ranger Captain. Still probably need to find like a Ranger Captain here. I'm gonna kill that food token. And they'll just go exile the Curator before they get any card selection off of it. So they attack me for 8 down to 10. Yeah, and I guess now they just get to Wistfulness and keep the Wistfulness around. Yeah, I agree Ruinous Wrecking Crew is a cool card. It doesn't seem super good, but it's kind of hard to evaluate. Alright, let's go to game 2. Not a very good draw on our part, but also just not drawing a Ranger-Captain game 1 is going to be tough in the matchup. So I'm going to cut the Aangs. I'm going to cut the Skyclaves, I think. I might want to go down on Force of Negations. Like, obviously, it's not very good against Violent Outburst, and we have ported really well already for Living End. Yeah, probably just go down to 1. It's a little bit weird. But we have Ranger-Captain Teferi, High Noon, Consign. Like, we're pretty covered against Living End, and Force is kind of our worst answer to it now that the unbanned Outburst. Maybe I do want to play some Aang. Maybe I'll play an Aang over a Force. Like, Aang's not very good against Living End, but it can be really nice to Violent against all their other stuff, really. Maybe the Phantoms. Yeah, I guess that maybe the Phantoms are actually the weak link. They usually play 2 basics, though. I have really liked Violing and Phantom to, like, tap a land down, although that matters maybe less against Violent Outburst. Let's do, like, 2-2. Would Violent Outburst Living End be better than Hogak? I don't think so. It's very weird to compare, I guess. Did I consider Red Source for High Noon? I think it's not worth playing. If I had Prismatic Ending, then yeah, but I don't. You know, Hogak's one of the worst design cards ever. I think it's still somehow top 5. It's just one of the cards you read and you're like, there has to be something I'm missing. There has to be something I'm missing. It's just what's my top 5? I think my top 5 is Lurrus, Underworld Breach, Nadu, Hogak. Is a Stoneforge package too much? I mean, it's just not good. Hogak, Ring, Nadu. I don't know if Ring is top 5. Ring is definitely up there. We can keep this. We can Phantom for white mana. I have nothing funny to play. Oko maybe. Yeah, I mean, I think Lurrus, Hogak, Underworld Breach, and Nadu. Those to me feel like so like when I say worst design, like a card like Beanstalk's a good example. Like I understand how Beanstalk got printed. It was a limited card that got way too out of control for constructed. All the 4 cards I just listed: Hogak, Lurrus, Nadu, and Hogak. Like these are cards that I grade really poorly for the worst design because they should have been so preventable with like the card design knowledge we had. Like we had the knowledge, we had the history to understand that to not make the mistakes that were made with those 4 cards. Like those were all like super easily preventable design mistakes. Hogak, Nadu, Lurrus, Breach. Okay, I'll keep this. Do you think Blue-White Isochant is a good position with all the combo and Cascade? Yeah, it seems fine. We've been playing against it a bunch. KCI has to be up there. I don't think KCI is close to top 5. Especially, also, KCI is an old card that was like, I think to me it seems like it was reasonable to make that design mistake because with like the information you had as like a game designer, they just concede the game. You can see what? Breach is the oldest. I think Lurrus was before Breach. I think Ichor was right before Theros, right? Like with Underworld Breach, you printed what was like kind of almost clearly a better Yawgmoth's Will to like 15, 20 years after Yawgmoth's Will was made. Well, I'm not going to mulligan this on the draw against Living End. Yeah, Flage was a huge design mistake too, for sure. Like, just like the decision to print another Escape Titan after Uro is like just a bad call. I don't think it's like top 5, but I agree, a mistake. You can't say it's better than Yawgmoth in good faith. Underworld Breach is better than Yawgmoth's Will. And in Legacy, and it would be better than in Modern. And what are we talking? It is better. It is better. So we should be able to play a second Pride comfortably enough. Okay, I guess just one then. How bad are we against Violent Outburst if we fetch? I think bad enough. Honestly, we're not that good against Agent because they just have a 2/2 to block my Pride. I think Yawgmoth's might be better in Vintage than Breach. But I don't have a ton of Vintage experience. They just main phase Endurance, huh? Kind of weird. A Guide of Souls would be great here. I think I'm gonna graveyard that's too slow now. That's a tempting one to tap out for. I think if my opponent had Force of Negation, like, would they ever main phase the Endurance here? I think I'm gonna slam the Teferi. I don't think it's gonna get a lot better than this. Nice. Will can't be interacted with mid combo. Yeah, but you can like Breach is way better against Graveyard Hate. Like your opponent can like Tormod Scripture Underworld Breach, and you can win the game the same turn just by refilling your graveyard. Like that's like so like yes, it can be interacted with, but with Graveyard Hate and Breach can be interacted with via enchantment removal. But if you're doing enchantment removal, you can like cast stuff in response to the removal too. Sometimes you can just counter the removal from the graveyard. Wait, they went for Wistfulness? Okay, this game's over. The problem is my consigns are kind of dead with Teferi in play. I'm not confident will be bannable. I mean, with no Dark Ritual, no Lion's Eye Diamond, like I probably agree. We can Aang and then we can flip Waterbend Aang into a game win here. This card's a Force of Negation, a little late, huh? If Will wasn't banned, I'd probably see Legacy. I mean, it would definitely see Legacy play. Do you think we could bring back Astrolabe? I'm a man who's been blood mooned by 5-color Niv Mizzet decks because of Arkham's Astrolabe. Wait, also, why would they not play the Endurance? Wait, why is Endurance in the graveyard? I don't understand. Maybe they have. Wait, does this bounce any permanent? It's only creature. They can't Otawara here. I have been blood mooned by Niv Mizzet decks. I am not in favor of a Astrolabe unban. Astrolabe should be in top 5 worst cards. The top 5. This is like basketball talk. I mean, the top 5 gets crowded really fast. It's a very limited space. I guess we miss lethal. We also can't lose this game. Bloodstained Mire, go. Let's lead on a Pride because we got 2 of them and only 1 guy. Give it to Knicks so people can associate with Mondami. Dude, if the Knicks win, Mondami is gonna have to nuke the city. We're gonna have to start over. They're gonna have to level it after the Knicks fans get done. So they get a mortuary off their mire. Why is this giving Crypt of Agadim? It's giving Crypt of Agadim. Sorry. Okay, it's just Necro. So yeah, I guess we'll go Guide Pride here. A little bit worried about Force of Despair. You don't think they'll wreck the city if they'll lose? They'll wreck it more if they win, I think. So no Necro to play. Do I want to Skyclave the Sorin now? I guess I don't want to do it now. Well, maybe it doesn't matter. Let's go to combat. But like I don't want to go Skyclave the Sword and then they kill my Skyclave and they just get to block something. I also kind of want to save the Skyclave for Necro. So I think I'm just gonna go Guide into Phantom second main. Okay. Interesting they didn't main phase this to kill a second thing with Sorin. Spike, what's a good budget cyber card for prowess? Trinisphere so much. It's so much money. I don't know how much. I'm very out of touch. I don't know how much Trinispheres are. I would guess Trinisphere is less than $1. It's one Trinisphere. What could it cost? $1? But it like so more and more I'm getting questions like, "Hey Spike, well, you know, this is a good example. Like, what's a good sideboard card option for prowess?" The answer is 100%. It depends on what deck you're playing. I've been saying this like so much lately. I feel it's like I cannot answer this without knowing what deck you're playing. They're like $50. Dude, I'm rich. I'm rich. I have at least one. Yeah, it should be hard cast $3 or hard set $3. I'm a rich man. See you later, losers. I'm quitting streaming. I'm retiring on my stack of Trinispheres. Okay, someone linked the political victory or political triumph. Huh, it's the link is political victory. The card is political triumph. It's Kingpin. Whenever a creature you control enters, scry 1, put a plant counter on it. When the 4th counter is put on this, sack it and draw a card and put each +1 counter on each creature you control. So if you get 4 creatures out, you get to scry 4 times, put a counter on everything, and draw a card for 1 mana. That isn't too bad. Do they necro and then concede it? Let's go. That isn't too bad. Definitely awful top deck. Bad after like turn 2. Honestly, High Noon and Teferi are kind of good against them. More so Teferi, I think. So like they go Necro and then they just can't Soul Spike and then they have to discard a 5 and you just bounce the Necro. Definitely want to keep it the forces. Is Consign good for against Necro? I don't almost ever have it, no. Probably want to go down on Loch Mare, down on Phantoms. Maybe play 1 Phantom, 1 or 0. Probably do want the 4th Skyclave. Sanctifier is not really that good. It just dies to all the sweepers, and it's just like 2/2. Yeah, I guess we'll play 4th Loch Mare. Do you think Rockrick is something you'd like to return to now that Flage is gone? I built a Rockrick deck. I don't think I posted it. I kind of forgot I built it. Yeah, I don't think I posted it. I don't think I liked it that much. So the idea behind the Rockrick deck I was working on was that Rockrick was always a really good Chalice of the Void deck. And Chalice of the Void seemed really good in the main deck right now. Sometimes I'll build a deck and I'll be like, "Oh, this is awful," and then I'll return to it. I'll return to it like a week later. I'm like, "Ooh, I was cooking." So maybe I could take a look at it. So this is the Nassif build. Probably not going to be triggering the Wan that often. So do I want to leave the vial on 1 so I can go Ranger-Captain, get a Guide of Souls? When brewing with new card synergies, do you often run 4 of, even suboptimally see them more? Almost only for like brand new cards, not usually like new synergies so much, but yeah, I'll do that sometimes. They have a Bowmaster. So I think I will take this up to 2. Okay, not a bad pickup. And I'm gonna grab a Mockingbird, which maybe I'll use to kill the Bowmaster. Maybe I'll copy Guide of or a Ranger-Captain. We'll see. Is it worth splashing for Haywire Might? I haven't been I haven't been loving Haywire Might for a while. It's um like I would maybe want it again in this matchup. It's a Necro matchup, right? But I'm not really dying for it. All right. I think I'm gonna take this up to 3. No, let's be able to Violent Wand if they kill the wand and they crack the fetch. I think I main phase 1 this so that if my opponent has another Bowmaster, I can still attack. Let me see if I can find the Rockrick deck. Last week. And I'm gonna like sneaky spend an extra mana, but copy Bowmaster. Bowmaster's also just like really nice to have in play against Necro. So they crack the fetch in response so that they can use their Bowmaster trigger to kill my Bowmaster. Fair enough. So while they do this, I did find the Rockrick deck. I didn't. So I think I built this, and I'm like I don't think I want to test it. But again, sometimes I'll do this, and I'll build a deck off stream, and then I'll look at it later, and I'm like, wow, I was cooking. I remember I did get kind of excited for Traumatic Critique. But again, I always really liked Rockrick as a Chalice of the Void deck. I remember I was also kind of torn on like to main deck Solitude or not. End up main decking Force of Negations. Maybe this is too many forces. I don't know. Oh, you know what it was? It was Kozilek's Command. Kozilek's Command made me not that excited about it. Maybe that's why I was playing all the forces in the consign though. I don't know. Maybe we could try it. Some number of emptiness. Maybe I feel like you might have to like build the deck like totally different. Not really sure. I'll put it in the Mox field just if anybody wants to mess with it. Totally forgot I even built it. Could block with the wands. We can play another one. I think we'll just take 2 though. This kind of smells like a damnation, right? They Gonties me second. This is Culling Ritual? It is Culling Ritual. So I would lose a wand, I would lose an Aether Vial, and I would lose an Orc Army. They also would get a good bit of mana. I think, yeah, we'll just force this. You might have been able to like vial the other one in response to this Verdant Catacombs though. Okay, if you can go to the Mox Field and you can find the Rockrick deck if you're itching for it. This is really good because if they just have Shielded or Necro in their hand, we just have a clean answer to it now. I guess we already had a clean answer with the Force, but have you played Jitor and it seems actually good? No, I played 2 decks where I was really trying to maximize the power of Jite, and it was like by far the worst card in the deck. And like, I'm at the point where I think I would not main deck Jite and Hammer. I think I would probably sideboard a copy. I think I would probably sideboard a copy. But I think I would not main deck it and Hammer. All right, we are 2-0. We just keep the fact that we keep winning with this deck, and it's like no one cares. I don't know. I it's not the biggest sample size either, but I feel like this is a crazy deck to just keep winning with it. We probably do need to do 2 leagues just to get more of a feel. Been testing Wand Field Wizards, feels been nice. A lot of cards, a good versus Lizards land. Yeah, the Cavern has been kind of annoying. Totally a reasonable direction to go. I can keep this. Okay, opponent's on a mold of 6. If you're not going to main deck Jiten Hammer, card's pretty much unplayable. Yeah. Jite wants games to go long and grind. Oh, dude, rough Thoughtseize. Yeah, Jite wants long, grindy games that are like where you attack and block a lot, and also spells are not that efficient. It's just like it's not real. I don't know. Well, draw a blue source. We really needed this vial. We couldn't get Thoughtseize bugged one time. We did draw a blue source. Just draw another land, easy. They return to Flicker Wisp. Yikes. Just noticed that. Jitte would be good in the Boros Energy Mirror. So would any number of Jittes be better than any number of Goblin Bombardments or Wrath the Skies or Legend of Roku's? Because if the answer is no, which I believe the answer is no, but maybe the answer is yes. But if the answer to that question is no, then I don't believe it's good. All right, let's go to game 2. Like I have a hard time. Like if I'm gonna sideboard for the Boros Energy Mirror, I'm gonna play any number of Wrath, Legend of Roku, the 4th copy of Goblin Bombardment, which you don't even play anyways, or like something like Screaming Nemesis. Like all those are better, I think. I like Teferi against Blink. Do I want the 3rd Skyclave? So Skyclave hitting Felia, Wisp, Emperor, Frog if they play Frog. It's a little narrow. I'm not a big Consign fan against Esper Blink. I liked it more against Jeskai Blink. But whenever they would Consign and see your Consign, it was just immediately dead. I think I'm just gonna play a Skyclave over any of the other cards I have. Do you want Wrath in the Boros Mirror? Yes, it's one of your best cards. It's insanely good when you're behind. It's one of the only cards that catches up when you're behind, and if you're ahead, you're ahead. And sometimes you can also like Wrath X equals 1 and keep your big stuff. You know, that's pretty real. I've been thinking about it. Is it taking turns list that uses Wizard's package to play the control game early, then uses Pinnacle Monk as win con to get back your turn spells? Any thought on this list, or is taking turns too bad? I don't know. I don't really recommend casting Time Warp in this format. The format's kind of fast. There's a lot of Force of Negations, and the card's really bad against Force of Negation. Did anyone ever try Sulfur Elemental against Boros Energy when it was 20% meta share? I don't know if I ever saw Sulfur Elemental. It does just have like so what does this do? This kills Ocelot Pride and a Johnny token. It kind of buffs Guide of Souls, and it dies to Galvanic Discharge for 3 mana. It doesn't seem great. It doesn't even kill the Voice of Victory tokens. Makes Voice of Victory a 2/2. All right, I'll concede to Pest Control. Okay, just an Overlord. And they brick on the Overlord. Okay, game 2 is looking good, chat. I guess we bounce Overlord to play around Flicker Wisp. Don't want a second one of these. It has split second, so it can't be removed. They can't respond with bombardment removal. Yeah, but like the effect is just not that good on it. Like the effect is it kills 1 creature in the deck. And then it flips to Johnny, which is sometimes a detriment and sometimes an advantage, and I don't know exactly how to evaluate that. Don't you wrath the skies me. You're not serious warping Riddler, dude. I guess I don't know if they could find Solitude. They can't Solitude Ephemerate. They Ephemerate the Riddler. Okay. Are they not dead on board? Maybe they are not. So I can go Ranger-Captain for a 3rd. I mean, I'm definitely going to Ranger-Captain anyways, because this is going to allow me to not lose to Wrath. And I'll just get another guide and jump 3 times. Should we not put the counters in the Pride for extra life gain? I think life gain matters less than diversifying threats on this board. I think by a lot, I'd even say that. Maybe I do want Force of Negation. Yeah, you know, I also my like I'm trying to click here. My Magic Online's been really weird today. Like the drag function has just not been working. Let's play 2 Force over 2 Skyclave. Maybe even 3 Force on the draw. Let's just do 2. I don't know. I'm pretty weak to Wrath. Let's play 3. Also, sometimes stop like Salt Ephemerate Scam on the Riddler. I like this hand. You can go Guide into Phantom into Guide into Ranger-Captain plus Pride all on turn 3. Any tips against Grixis Random on Blue-Red Wizards? Prioritize having a snare in your hand. You can if you feel like the matchup's not that good, like every copy of Surgical increases your win percentage by a lot, I think. So maybe I can go tutor Mockingbird off Ranger-Captain on turn 3 so that I can have a blue card up for Force. Not playing Boromir on the side as a vexing effect plus protection to Wraths. Well, I mean, I'm already like really good against I have a lot of other Cascade anti-Cascade tools. I'm not playing Boromir. Boromir can be good. Do you think I'm gonna play the Phantom here? Classic turn 2 Aether Vial draw. Wizards is miserable to play against. Funny. You might not even obviously everybody has decks that they dislike playing against, but I'm just as someone who's like just lived through 2 years of Boros Energy, like I'm happy to play against almost anything that isn't Boros Energy. But that's not necessarily that the gameplay is that good. I'm currently loving this iteration of Modern. I'm having so much fun every single day, and I also have no idea how good the format is. I'm having so much fun every single day, and I have no idea how good the format is. So it looks like they're holding up a Consign or a Push. Do I want to hold up Wan? I think I want to play Ranger-Captain and Aether Vial here. I think I'd rather them consign the Aether Vial trigger than the Captain ETB. They might even like attack the Ranger-Captain and like just exile it on the way down. We'll see. I'm gonna grab probably just Mockingbird here. It's a game. Games are to be fun. Modern's fun. Modern's a good game. Well, yeah. I just again, my brain has been just rewired to just see any deck that's not Boros and be happy. But I'm not gonna overthink being happy too much. I'm happy. That's a good thing. So yeah, maybe I think they're gonna consign to delete the Ranger-Captain. They're replicating this. Play around Force. Good play. I do have the Force. They have 2 cards in their hand. It doesn't look like the Moxfield has a rocker deck. Maybe I didn't click submit. Hopefully they don't have a fatal push. I do think I'm gonna go for the max value here. Although I guess max value maybe it's not that good because then like they just blink the wand and then I don't really have a blocker for it anyways. Maybe that's fine because that stops them from scamming something. Oh no, I see the rocker deck. It's in there. Again, just kind of a first draft. I don't know if I'm gonna end up playing it or not. I might test it off stream tonight. If you violate Mockingbird, I think you can copy like a construct token or something, but you can't copy 1-drops. Well, not much point in Force of Negationing this. You can copy an Asmo with Mockingbird on 0. Copy a Dryad Arbor. They do take the Force of Negation, so they're saying that they have a Wrath Disguise, I think. So we want to Vial in the Guide of Souls first so we can get the trigger from the Felia here. I think I'm interested in post Wrath Disguise, like setting up for them to Wrath this turn, and then next turn going Ranger-Captain, Mockingbird, copy Ranger-Captain to kind of go over the top of it. Maybe I should have also attacked with a guide and planned to block with one plus a token. Yeah, I made those a bit better. Oh, I have Kitty's Blessing actually. Yeah, sure. Sorry, so -1 damage. Can we get more Traumatic Critique gameplay? We're gonna definitely be playing a lot of Traumatic Critique. I have an updated Wizards build that's combining the Reclamation deck and the Wizards deck, which I'm pretty excited for. So they're gonna Wrath X equals 1. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So they've got 2 cards in their hand. And there's not doesn't seem to be much downside between for Felia attack Blink the Wand. Is that today? I mean it's gonna be pretty hard for it to be today because I think I'm gonna play a second league of this unless this league just ends up being a disaster, then we could pivot. Although we're currently 2-0 and probably gonna win this game. But this is the thing about me playing this deck is we've been winning with this build. We haven't played very much of it, but like this is our second time playing this deck and our second time like having a winning record, and still it just doesn't. I need to be the one that's hyped. I know I need to be the one that's hyped about it, but we need to get hyped for this deck. I think I should Mockingbird this turn. It's gonna be kind of harder for them to deal with it. Although I could also save it for like a hardcast Riddler maybe. So get them down to 7. Got a really good board. Although maybe the problem with playing Mockingbird is they could Felia it. What will it take it to get you to play S control? S and the W are close on the keyboard, so maybe you mean blue-white. We've played a lot of blue-white control before. I think that blue-white is currently like a little less interesting than other options, but we have played plenty before. We'll play plenty again. Don't worry. And then they Overlord and they find a Solitude. They grab Solitude. Do they have a white card? Yeah, I think I got really punished for the Mockingbird line, huh? What was last deck? It was the Goryo's Creativity deck with Raph and Mikey. So I'm going to double block here so they can't save the Felia with a Solitude. Interesting that, what, they have... Oh, they just want to draw the extra card, sure. Sure. So let's go Guide, Pride, Captain. Oh, sorry. I guess I should have decided if I was getting a Guide or a Pride first. I have to get a Guide for the enough energy to force a chump block with the Riddler. So missed a little damage there. I'm gonna sack a Ranger-Captain in their upkeep. Haven't played perfect. Missed a point of damage. Missed an energy and a life here, but should be 3-0. Interested in looking at blue-white Wand Flash with Snap Sayings Wands. We had a deck that was kind of like it and kind of morphed into this deck. You ever talk to Boxer about potential features? Sometimes, yeah. A deck page would be great to able to link YouTube videos if you play in the deck. Could be interesting. Yeah, Conciliator Duelist. What is that card? Conciliator Duelist. Oh, this one. Yeah, I've been trying to build with it. I've been having not that easy of a time. And I every time I build with it, it sort of feels like I'm building a worse version of a deck that already exists. But it is a card in a deck I'm interested in. They also warp a Riddler. They draw 2 cards. So they're going to likely Solitude my Ranger-Captain. We'll sack the Ranger-Captain in response to the Solitude Evoke so that we can play around Ephemerate, I guess. And then we have the ability to jump 2 things with the Guide, although we have to play 1, assuming we don't draw something else right now. Okay, that's something else. I think we'll play that. Get an extra blocker off the field has got to be correct. All right, so we go to combat. My opponent's gonna evoke the Solitude. Oh, sorry. If I sack in response to the cast, then it's a bit weird, right? I guess I leave the cat back and jump both guides. But it's a bit weird because then then they just get to exile something else. Can't you respect response to Solitude? But yeah, then they get to exile something else. That's what I was saying I was gonna do. Now I'm not sure that it's correct. Because that might just turn this so like if it's lethal then yes, and if it's not, so if they go Solitude we sack, they exile Guide of Souls, they block the cat, then they only take 6 damage. They only take 6 damage. So it's still better to sack if they have Ephemerate in their hand. There are no Ephemerates played yet this game. I think it seems fine. They're on 5. Oh, sorry. I thought their life total was higher. Okay, great. Great. They could still have Solitude white card as the other 2 cards, but that's also fine. They could also go Ephemerate the Overlord in response, grab a Solitude if it is Ephemerate. They have a Fatal Push too, okay. Shouldn't have attacked with the cats. I think I disagree. I didn't attack with the Ocelot Pride. Alright, so they have 1 card in their hands. So maybe we would have won if we didn't sack. Can't the Ephemerate response to Overlord? Yeah, it's just not as bad for me. We should be in pretty good shape. I guess they could have Wrath of Skies this turn. They return another copy of Solitude. I wonder if are we supposed to go 1, 2, 3 block? I don't think so. I think we're supposed to make it to where if all they have is Solitude, they're dead. But multiple block. Also, if they had Wrath, they would have just Wrath main phase 1, or they could have just Wrath main phase 1. Also, like maybe Flicker Wisp would have been a better grab. Don't know. So right now they go Solitude 1, block Skyclave, gain 3, take 4. They're alive. I didn't think they were alive. But they cast Riddler instead, which is... I think this is worse than casting the Solitude. Draw a Ranger-Captain. So I've already used my Mockingbird. I'm not going to have enough energy to jump anything with Guide of Souls, even if I Legend Rule 1. They must have Ephemerate. I guess they have Ephemerate. I think I'm just sending with the team here. What is this avatar? So they don't have Solitude Ephemerate. They're going to blocks here. They might have to Solitude their own Overlord. Does Solitude plus push do it? Okay, weird game. Solitude stabilized them, so very lucky they didn't hold it up. Alright, keep the 7. Could be better to play the Witch Enchanter to be a little bit against Thoughtseize, although it's not really helping us cast our spells that well. Misty Rainforest. I guess I cast Pride, didn't cast Mockingbird. This way it kind of seems like maybe I've got something else in my hand, and I think I want to use my mana this turn, so I have Aang up next turn. Kind of a bummer I don't have a second blue, so I can't just go like Vial and Ocelot Pride, cast Wand in response to the fetch. Welcome, Andy. Welcome to the stream. So I'm gonna have a push for my Pride. Yeah, when they lead on Misty Rainforest, I'm thinking it's like Neoform Civic Ritual or Living End, and but so we get pretty got here, I guess. I know you don't play in paper often anymore. Last time we did, you notice people playing slower than expected, throwing me off my groove since they're used to playing online. People play faster in paper than online, in my experience. So I guess no. All right, I attack for 1. So I guess I'll play around their own copy of Wan here. And I think I'd rather be able to go 1 x equals 2 with Aang up to like fight over counter magic. Also, like in paper, you like can like look at their face and get a read. What's the idea behind Loch Mare? Is there a synergy with it, or is it just a value card? I mean, it's a value card, but it has like a lot of synergy with Aether Vial, and this is an old brew that we had success with, and we're circling back post Flage ban. It's definitely one of these decks that like was really annoyed by Flage existing. And it's like I do think that there's like this general shell of like Aether Vial as a value engine in this blue white deck. I think it's been good and interesting. This is a fun stack. It's gonna draw 2 extra cards off the wand. Would love to find another 3-drop for the vial next turn. Hopefully, we don't get subtletied. Nice. So we draw a card off the wand. ETB. We'll draw a card off the shuffle. I'll say also on Loch Mare, like Loch Mare has been a good value card. Like I think that it's a little bit underplayed. We also we played a couple of different collected company decks. Like I was really interested in collected company Oculus, and we went 3-2 and 4-1 3 times, 3-2 or 4-1 3 times with like collected company Loch Mare, 4-1 with Aether Vial Loch Mare. Like we haven't had a losing league with Loch. We're 3-0 now. We haven't had a losing league with Loch Mare yet. Although this is like the first Loch Mare we've drawn all day. To be fair. All right, so they do have the one still in the airbent zone. They can't spend extra mana on it though, for whatever that's worth. They play a Watery Grave untapped. Maybe they're representing a copy of Subtlety. I draw another copy of Wan. Avengers disassembled seems sick for Ponza, unfortunately. What's the card do? Maybe they just have like Wan off the airbending plus counterspell. Oh, it's another copy of Wan. So I guess I should have played my fetch first. I guess let's see if we draw Skyclave or if we draw another Aang. I do not. I draw another fetch land. It's the worst draw. I think I don't play the fetch land because my opponent's going to be like somewhat interested in trading ones because they have another one in the airbent zone, but they're going to be a lot less interested in that if I play a fetch land. Okay, so this is 3 damage to each creature or destroy target land. Search for basic. Okay. They keep a card on top with the Surveil. Yeah, one or both. Yeah, I did say both. I swear I swear I said both. I'm sorry for all the confusion from the chat. Drawing 3 fetches in a row has been pretty brutal. There's like no chance this Loch Mare resolves. I think I probably just need to cast it. Obviously, I didn't say both. I didn't see Fing Fang Foom. No, that's the dragon, right? And they have the subtlety. Dude, subtlety's brutal here. I guess I kind of got to keep it on top. Might not be able to pull this one out, drawing so many lands in a row. I do think that I don't want to trade Subtlety for one. They may be stuck on a fetch land or two. I don't want to make their field super good too. I do think this is unlikely to resolve. They consult in response, so maybe it will resolve. Maybe they're thinking about kicking to try to find snare. Whenever an instant or sorcery that targets a land, copy it, choose new targets, put 2 counters. I mean, it's just going to be too slow. But very cool. Alien Dragon Villain. That's quite a type line. Or they just have like logic not encounters. So they push my Wan in response? Why? Well, let's see if we draw a I might have Bowmaster here, but let's see if we draw a 3-drop to Violin. Okay, they do just have Bowmaster, but they can't kill my Loch Mare. They can kill my other 2 guys. If I draw any of my 3-drops here, I'm feeling okay. Okay, that's one of my 3-drops. So I think I just need to get rid of Wan here so I can unlock both of these. And I'll probably just go fetch Surveil, hold priority, fetch Surveil. I don't think the Bowmasters is too much. Oh, sorry. Classic do one thing, say another, but it's fine. Let's get a fountain. I would have loved another Surveil. It's okay. Weird game. So they've got 3 cards in their hand. They also have a 1 in the Airbent zone, but it can only be cast as a 1/1. Have I seen much? Is it Metalcraft post-ban of everything but the cutters? I haven't seen a lot of it, no. The deck's probably fine, though. I've been wanting, the Arayo deck that we were playing is basically that deck, but with Arayo as one of the payoffs, and I've been wanting to re-look at Arayo. Okay, so see what we draw. Great draw. 4, 5, 6, 7. Was the whole priority? No, you fetch, let the Surveil go on the stack, then you fetch again. I guess. The 2 stun counters are 1. I think it's just 1. Yeah, tap is done. So I think I'm just gonna attack with the Loch Mare. This lets me go Violin, Aang, and transform at instant speed without cracking the strand into the 1. Okay, they're making me sack a non-token creature of my choice. So I guess one thing I could do is I could go... Yeah, let's go... It's so bad if they have counter magic, though. But I would want to cast Aang, then Violin the Skyclave, and then sack the Skyclave. How would I Violin the Skyclave? Oh, sorry. For some reason, I would thought the Aang would let me do that. It doesn't, of course. Okay, I think we just sack the Skyclave. So I can Aang and I can flip, or I can tap with Loch Mare. Aang flip is pretty juicy because they like it incentivizes them to swing out. I can block subtlety, transform, and have lethal like on the crackback. I can also just flip on my turn. Okay, so I guess we go stun counters here. Then we airbend the Orc army and then block the Bowmaster. Yeah, I can pay for waterbending next turn with the Aether Vial. Cool game. It's been a great game. Take only 1 damage. This turns into a 6/6 after attacks, so They can survive by chumping with the Wan. If I cast this Pride and it gets countered, I can't flip the Aang, which actually is just a disaster if that happens. So I think I think there's a somewhat high chance they have a counter spell in their hand. That I think we. I guess I could flip it. I'd have the Aang tapped. Why not block Wan to present lethal there? I mean, I think it's just better to like have outs to like top deck Loch Mare, top deck a new Wan, and like win if my opponent has anything. Because if my opponent has nothing and they're just chumping, like I'm likely winning here. But if they have like another removal spell, then all of a sudden that's pretty bad. I also like make another copy of Wan in their hand better if I do that. Yeah, Aang has been consistently so good. Very underrated modern card. But I think playing around nothing is unwise. Maybe we do give them another draw. But maybe it was correct. I do think like letting our card draw spells be better top decks makes a lot of sense to me. Wasn't it free to cast the Pride before transform? I just said this, but it's fine. I know it's kind of a weird spot, but if they have a counter spell and they counter the Pride, I can't transform and attack, which is a disaster. Which is enough of a disaster to not cast the Pride there, I think. They only have one Edict left in the deck, maybe, so and they can't Fatal Push without Field of Ruin because they're at 1 life. So they consult again. And the Loth, cool username. Thanks for the Twitch Prime. So they no longer can field Fatal Push. It'd be really tough for them to get out of this. I guess they could go Cling to Dust. Oh yeah, they just show me that they found the push. Or maybe they're testing the like flip rules. Shout out Loch Mare. Crazy game. Alright, we'll bring in the fun Ravelers. No fun for you. Don't know how many Skyclaves I won against them. They were pretty good that game. Yeah. Three seems like a good number. You can play like 3 and then play 1 Force of Negation. I don't think I want 4. We need to play updated Dimir Flash also. I think you want to play less Cling to Dust than you were playing. Although there's also a lot of Grixis Reanimators, so maybe that's not even the case. Yeah, flip cards used to be mana value 0. Back when I first started playing, you could like Abrupt Decay Huntmaster of the Fowls when it flipped. Can you play some nervous subtleties over the Aangs and Skyclaves? We had subtleties in the first draft of the deck back when we built it months ago, when there was like more Blink and more Titan. I don't think subtlety is a good main deck card right now. You could make that change, I suppose. I'll say the Aangs are really good. Like you want to be on like 2 to 3 Aangs for sure, I think. But you could cut 1. Okay, I do really like having Phantom Flagstones, although maybe it's a bit awkward against Wan. I'm gonna main face fetch because of Wan. Very good card in the matchup. I think it's fine. If you ever go like turn 1 Vial in this matchup, it's so tough for them. Dude, they even get Thundering Falls. Maybe they boarded in the Meltdowns. Any tips on navigating the Frog matchup with Wizards? I'm pretty sure I responded to you earlier, but... Or maybe, no, I think you were asking about... Someone was asking about the Grixis deck, but... Spell Snare is like, if you draw that card, you're going to win, probably, and if you don't, you're probably going to lose. It's maybe not that deep, necessarily... Like you get disputes for some extra anti-frog measures early. Right. Seems like they do not have the one. Maybe it was a little bold to be playing this here. Cowards can't block warriors. Wan is so good. I think I just have a Wan already. I have infinite value. We need like lands. I'd even like be happy drawing an Aether Vial. Oh, also like with Wizards too, like if you have the discharges, you know, like if you ever play Frog, you just always like especially in paper, cast discharge really fast. Like they play Frog, cast discharge really fast and really confident, and then a lot of times they'll just let it die. If like the faster you cast it, the more confident you are. It's not the biggest deal, but it is something I recommend. I did see Avengers Disassembled, kind of a fun card. Playing basic Swamp, Fatal Push, sure. Kind of interested in upkeep, wanting. Like if they had a Bowmaster, would they have played Bowmaster there? I think they would have a lot of the time. If they Bowmaster in response to the one, it's not the end of the world either. But if we can just make them tap like 2 mana for Counterspell, that'd be really nice. 1 mana for Dispute's definitely a lot less nice here. Although maybe I could draw a land and I could go like White Orchid Phantom, tap down one of their blue sources to try to resolve Teferi. I did not draw a land. All right, so let's just start trying to trade Ranger Captains for counter spells to try to get Fun Raveler down. So they've hit all their land drops. For what it's worth, your deck looks like a nightmare. I agree. So they may be not wanting to let this resolve. They may also want to subtlety this. Yeah, but if they let this resolve, I get to cut them off red. So yeah, I think we're going to try to jam the Teferi now. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the bottom. Bouncing the subtlety is a little weird. I think we should. It's mostly bad if they have Bowmaster or Edict. Although if they have Edict, we have Force, I guess. Oh, great draw. They keep a card on top. 4 in their hand. One of them's a subtlety. I think you make them have the removal with the play. I think so too. I'm gonna force pitch Aang. Do you think WotC prints too much draft chaff? There are some cards that are clearly unplayable in any format. It seems like a waste of time, money, material. Well, I mean, cards being good in draft is a format. It's part of the game. I do think that they do print less like vanilla creatures with no text to make draft more interesting, but I think draft is a really important format, and it's really important that they print cards for it. There's some unplayable draft cards too. Yeah, for sure. Sometimes like they're not intentionally unplayable. They're like just misdesigned or whatever. I'm gonna play a Team Sealed at the end of the month in Vegas, and I'm really excited. It'd be nice to take a little break. Although I'm not super excited to again go to Las Vegas in the summer. One of these years I'll be there in the winter, but somehow I'm always like sweating on the tarmac. I think you can print better cards for draft. I think they have definitely been printing higher complexity cards for draft for a long time now. So they have a pause on my draw step here. Do you share a card pool in Team Sealed? Yes, you build you have a collect. I think you have less total packs than you would. I don't think you have 18 packs. I don't know how many you have. Maybe 12, maybe 15. And you build 3 decks from your collective card pool. It's a very cool format. I guess I don't need to main phase this because they have a Teferi in play. It is 12 packs. Yeah. But I'm really excited. I love team events because like when you go to a Magic event, like a big part of it is always just hanging out with your friends. And when you're when you're playing your own matches all day, like you don't get to hang out with your friends the whole time. You even like miss them for huge chunks of it. And with team events, you just get to hang out with your friends all day. So their hand is Subtlety and 2 mystery cards. Set for standard Modesty list team trios doing in August. Yeah, those are always really fun too. I would usually be in the legacy seat when I played those. I think almost every single one, if not every single one, I was in legacy. I don't know if I've ever played a modern. I did Team Unified Modern at GP San Antonio. Shout out Spurs. That might have been the only Team Modern event I played. There's probably one more out there. Think we're about to be 4-0 again. Or I don't know, this deck is crazy. So I'm attacking for 9 next turn. All right. So our first league with the deck, we're 4-0, we 4-1 with Wrath creativity. It's just I'm just having so much fun in this format right now. I'm hoping it continues to be this good, but it just feels like every day all the games are super sweet and interesting, and we're just winning with everything. It's I don't know. Now we're 4-0, and with this data, I'm gonna say something that's kind of crazy. Loch Mare is kind of just a good card. It's like it's definitely a lot better when you have Aether Vial in your deck, or you have like Badgermole Cub, or we had like a Collected Company build that we also did well with. But Loch Mare's just kind of good. It just like it's a guy that draws you a bunch of cards, or becomes a big guy that like taps your opponent's guy down. It just like you just it's just good. That's I guess I don't need to say it again, but all right, we're on the play against a Flooded Strand Plains. Not sure if they're Boros or blue-white build. Think I want to hold up the Wan and Violin the Pride. Think you'll play Kozilek's Command and more shells, new lands. I mean, we played it like every shell already. I don't know if it necessarily unlocks that much, but we'll be playing it. Okay, so they are blue-white. And they're holding up Felia. I think I'm going to play the Wan out. Thanks, Ghost, for the 3 months. Appreciate you. And then we probably just set up to go like Violin, Loch Mare, and then tap down the Felia. Yeah, we could play Boros Energy with K Command, I guess. That'd be quite a league. I think Dingo's done that actually. Loch Mare. Oh, I forgot about the Shackle Loch Mare League. We also did well with that deck too. So they do have a Riddler. Hopefully they don't also have an Ephemerate. Oh, it's the Drum build. Yeah, I actually think Drum is super good in this deck. The ability to like tap Riddler to like a Ephemerate and like just tap your warp creatures in general, like hard cast your 5-drops. Like they could just hard cast Riddler next turn. I think Drum is super good in blue white. They also can they have Guide Pride going. This is gonna be hard to beat. Are there any more Dingo collabs coming up? I guess none planned. I do try to catch up and text him a bunch, but um, nothing planned. Maybe Witch Enchanter Drum next turn. Opponent's doing some reading. Is Momo not better than Drum? I don't think so. Like Drum is always an extra mana. Momo is only an extra mana with 8 cards in the deck. Drum is better with Pride and Guide. I don't know. I think Drum is better. You could play like maybe the first Momo is better than like the 4th Drum or something like that. So they're 1 permanent short of Kitty's Blessing. Have another turn to not have to worry about the Felia. I think I take this up to 3. And do I draw a card hoping to find a 3-drop or a Guide of Souls, or do I kill the Drum to try to deny Quantum Riddler for a turn? I think I hit the Drum to try to deny Riddler for a turn. We can attack with the Ocelot Pride since they can choose to trade prides, which we're fine with, or we'll get a token. And we can also attack with the Loch Mare. Yeah, fine with this trade. Maybe should have attacked first. I'm not sure. 4 cards in their hand, Riddler in the Warp Zone. They play their own copy of Witch Enchanter untapped. Maybe they'll disenchant my Vial. No, they warp a Starfield Shepherd, so they get another Pride, probably. Very hard build to play against. Do you think the blue-white builds with Drum should also be playing Aang? Sorry, why is there... Oh, they fetched. They fetched, so I drew a card for the Wan. Um, Maybe. I think Aang is super good. I think it's good in the archetype. You're pretty limited on like the number of interactive like flex spots you have, but it is certainly one you can play in that spot. All right, so I'm gonna take 3. So maybe we can draw like a Ranger-Captain Vial, draw a Guide of Souls. We're gonna have to get our own Guide Pride going to compete. We did draw Ranger-Captain. Free to draw this card here. Another Aether Vial. Also, their Felia gets unlocked next turn, which is going to be a big problem because it's going to have flying. I think we're probably pretty dead. Yeah, I think we're pretty dead. We get to go up to 8 life points. They're going to have Chump Block. Well, I think I'll just make them kill me, but I think we're going to be down a game. How about circling back to Carnage combo? I think it's a pretty bad time. I think there's like, I don't know, maybe it's not that bad a time. So they can play a Riddler from the Warp Zone if they have nothing else. So I'm going to be bringing in Wraths, Skyclave number 4, and Time Ravelers. Yeah, I did see the new Sweeper Land Destruction Sorcery. That card is pretty cool. Should you grab Mockingbird to make Flying Guide? The problem is they can blink it with Felia, but maybe that's... I think we're just dead on board no matter what we do for whatever that's worth. Have you even Cauldron Leo another look? We played the Orzhov version. I feel like it's playing too much graveyard hate for like how the metagame has evolved, and maybe you just want to play the Celestia version. So we're going to be down a game against Quantum Energy. Yeah, I don't think it mattered. Okay, so I want to board out my Force of Negations. I want to board in my Fun Ravelers. I think I want to board out the Phantoms. Although I do like they block Felia early. Maybe 2 Wrath the Skies, 2 Consigns. I guess Consign's mostly only good against Felia, and it's not that good against Felia, but we are a little soft to Felia. We're less soft to it on the play. I think I might go down a Vial and just bring in the 3rd Wrath. Speed lesson on it. Remember people said Pride wouldn't be playable modern because it's the next one. You know what? People thought that so much that they straight up did not play Ocelot Pride at the PT where Nadu was legal, which I thought was crazy. But like most Boros Energy lists did not play Ocelot Pride. Yeah, I agree. Loch Mare is still a sleeper. It's been like consistently so good. Are we not playing Felly because the slots are cramped? Felly's not all that good in the stack. It's like okay with Ranger Captain rights. It's like solid with Skyclave, although it's awkward. Like you blink Skyclave and you give them a token to block Felia with. Like we're just not that good of a Felia deck. It's like okay with White Orchid Phantom. People thought Frog was not that good. Was not that good, or a cyber card for Gora's like 2 months after MHA. Really? I don't remember that, but you might be right. I don't think I want a Mockingbird here. It's a bit weird. I kind of remember people liking Frog pretty fast, but I don't know, that time is such a blur. So they have Ophelia. Okay, let's go for Teferi. We are gonna lose the Teferi, but being able to bounce the Ophelia is really, really nice here. Just so we can Skyclave it next turn potentially. I remember arguing with some of y'all about Psychic Frog, and I was like pretty big fan. I was told a lot I was wrong. It's an Ogora deck and the PT only played 2 mana. That's so funny. So they Mockingbird the guide. Frog is still not loved. I think Frog is generally liked. I don't know. I think Frog really should have been an 0-1. I would love Psychic Frog if it was an 0-1. I think it'd be a really cool design. Any thoughts of Plus than Wrath? We're too weak to Riddler. They don't play around anything on the Vial. I thought that maybe they would main phase the Felia so they could jump. Was it too obvious I was F6? Maybe it was. So I'm not gonna aggressively Skyclave this. I may do something like Violin the Ranger-Captain, spend only 2 mana to Wrath the board, clean up the board, and also Violin another Ranger-Captain or a Skyclave next. I guess I can't do both, but people said Flage was terrible first, which is crazy. No deck of modern for to slot into. Yeah, I thought Flage was good, but there wasn't a deck of modern for it to slot into. But it was true there wasn't a deck of modern for it to slot into, and then there became one. It was just all of the same set. They're flickering Guide of Souls. Interesting. Did Jeskai Blink get developed because of Riddler specifically? Did they get developed because of Riddler? Kind of. That's fine. We're gonna Wrath the Skies. So I think I get another Pride, and I can go. Oh no, I need a guide because I'm gonna kill my guide. Shifting Woodland was a bit of a disappointment in terms of raw power. Shifting Woodlands is like an incredible card. It got Lotus Field banned. It got a card banned in the format. What are we talking about? I think we've set up for this spot pretty well. One short of Kitty's Blessing. 4 cards in their hand. What's my opinion of these 2 decks? What do you think is stronger? I don't know. I haven't. So the new version of Blue White is playing Springleaf Drum in the main, and Springleaf Drum does seem so good. Oh, they just have their own Wrath. Oh, brutal. Okay, they've got 2. I've got 1. I think that they're probably a favorite in the matchup overall. I kind of like I do like the trickiness that this deck gets to play. I think I'd main phase this so I could try to draw a blue source for the Consign. But I'd say it's tough to tell. Have we done a Woodland Brew since Ban? I love Omni Woodlands. Yeah, we played didn't we play Woodlands yesterday? Yeah, we played the teamer control Woodlands. We did we trophy with it? Or I think no, we lost, but we 4-1 with it. Okay, love drawing the Loch Mare, obviously. This is good fun, clean magic here. I guess we'll consign this. Just main phase, draw a card. I might get to surveil. Regan Flagergon is Amtraptor, safe unbanned. Yeah, there famously are no other good cards to cast for free on turn 2. I remember people would say this unironically, that hitting Flage turn 2 off Raptor was a bad hit. That when you cast it off Raptor, like not that you bricked on it and you couldn't cast it, that when you did cast Flage turn 2 off Raptor, that was like a brick. I don't know if y'all remember that, but that was always so funny. Yeah, Raptor Corey Steel Cutter would be sick. Raptor was a really fun card, as it is very fun to cast spells for free. It's not a very well balanced card. Yeah, it's like I didn't even hit the One Ring or a Johnny. So I think I'll leave my 3/4 black back to block the Solitude here. Not sure what their last 2 cards are. I wonder if they could have another Wrath. Guess they could. Okay, I guess that makes some sense. They could reset the 1. They could blink something. Hopefully it's a Starfield Shepherd and not a Riddler. It's another Solitude is kind of tough. They get rid of the Loch Mare. Yeah, so maybe they get rid of Loch Mare and they reset the 1. They have pretty good attack here. Yeah, they probably reset the 1 and then what do we do? I guess I just take this block. The problem with taking this block is I don't have another good Felia target or Skyclave target. Yeah, I think I just block one of the Solitudes and then I go guide Skyclave next turn. I think I want to wait on the Aang. Although now I could go Skyclave Aang. Yeah, I think I want to jump the Wan here. Should be fine. Ring Interrupter was specific called as written for Raptor Ban. I mean, the fact that it's less about the 1 ring and more that your 2-drop can cast a 4-drop and be a 2/1 first striker on turn 2. Like Raptor into Legend of Roku on turn 2 isn't really that different from Raptor into Ring. It's it's more just you're casting a proactive 4-drop on turn 2 and you get a 2/1 first striker. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Why did we print this? Oh, weird that they didn't attack with a Solitude. With their last card being Pride, I feel like they definitely should have. So I guess we'll keep this. We can go Skyclave, their Pride, and hold up Aang. Let's hold up the Aang. They might have hardcast Solitude. Don't think I want to overcommit too much. Might have been fine. No, it was kind of close. One of their 2 cards is an Arid Mesa. So they have no Surveil lands. in play, so they would have played this last turn to surveil. So this is the card they drew for turn, and the last card in their hand was not Solitude last turn. So it seems like we should be able to play the Aang. And then we can also waterbend the Aang. Yeah, Aang is pretty good against Wrath of Skies, although they do have enough energy sandbag they could replay it. All right, attack. Guess I could play Skyclave first. I actually think it's overcommitting. I don't know. I guess not because they Solitude the Aang, and then I want to be able to jump here. But they just don't have Solitude. There's no way. Rumble was another missed image 3 card. I think I missed it too. I think that with Rumble, it kind of reminded me of Unholy Heat, where it was like a last minute common that like just in the sea of other like more interesting things. So we're going to go to game 3. They wouldn't fetch for sure with having one. That's true. Yeah, maybe they would hold the Arid Mesa because of that. They probably would play it. Maybe not. Weird game. I think I liked my sideboard plan. Let's run it back. Rumble kind of Fable and how people glossed over it at first. Yeah. I will say like Fable has been a good modern card, but it like Fable is way better in standard and pioneer than it ever was in modern. I kind of have to mulligan this, right? Opponent kept 7. There's just no way. You keep no 1 or 2 drop on the draw. Okay, we can try this. Probably gonna put back the fun Raveler on the draw, especially because I can't vial it in. I will say maybe I should cut all the vials against the Felias. Felia is so good against vial. Maybe they just won't have it this game. How do we win that? OMG. Really? I feel like we're like even or ahead like the whole game. Okay, not too bad. Although, you know, they are gonna have Guide Pride. Oh, they get planes. Does that mean they have Wrath Disguise in their hand, maybe? No, probably just it could mean kind of anything, I guess. They double Soul Lost Faith. Oh, really? I thought we were ahead like both times they cast Solitude still. Fing Fing Foom seems like great at the wish control. I don't know. It seems like it just is clunky and fragile. Not the kind of card I usually play. So they should have Ephemerate for the Riddler here. Could replicate Consign, I guess. I think I'm going to. It's not. It's obviously not a great play, but it's the play we have. The new improvised mana rock could be a reason to bring back the Archway deck. Yeah, maybe. It's nice to have another payoff. Stops them from jumping the Guide of Souls too, if they have Ephemerate or another 1-drop. Do they not have it? I guess they're just like F6 checking me. Okay, weird. Damn. All right, gonna be a tough game to win. Hoping they can trigger Wan for me this turn. I watched Mingu's Rhino League was funny. He mentioned many times how much hate there is for Cascade. There definitely is a lot. I think I sack. I don't know. Maybe the Ranger-Captain. The Ranger-Captain is not doing that much. And I kind of want to like. I want to stop the Ephemerate, but maybe that's just wrong. I don't know. I think they want the damage anyways. Yeah, it was probably just wrong. Consign the memories and 51% dex. Yeah, and they have Solitude. How's the outburst been fine? It's definitely been fine. Like, it's fine. Like, it's very containable. I think it does make gameplay worse, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, the thing is, the Ranger Captain just does so little here. Recruiter of the Guard, or they get Starfield Shepherd. They get Witch Enchanter. So we're taking 7 down to 5. They're 1 short of Kitty's Blessing. Kind of cooked, huh? Yeah, I think the new cycle of lands, I agree, is looking good. I'm not sure exactly how good it is. So they have Witch Enchanter and then 2 new cards that they just drew off the Riddler. So I guess I'm going to Aang the Guide in combat. Guess I'll do it now. Yeah, I saw Avengers disassembled. It does look like it goes in the tablet control deck. Dude, and they drew Guide and Pride as their 2 cards off the Riddler. Ugh, well, we fought hard this league, huh? It does seem like that while this deck is good and Loch Mare is good and Aang is good, it does seem like it's not. I don't think it is as good as Quantum Energy, especially with the Springleaf Drum tech. Which is kind of a bummer. I do think like there's a good chance Aang is like optimal in Quantum Energy, but it's a little bit hard to tell. Think I take 7. Yeah, I guess we could draw Wrath Disguise to potentially be alive. Although it looks like we're 1 energy short of even sweeping the whole board here. We didn't draw it. Okay. And I guess they've been playing just 4 drums. You might not have to play 4. You could play less. So 2 4-1s, a 4-1 with Goryo's creativity, a 4-1 with this deck. Just really still liking the diversity of stuff you can play, having a lot of fun. I said I was going to do 2 leagues. We don't really have time for 2 leagues today either. I see Super Intelligence. I could look at this one. Beginning controls upkeep. And at the beginning of the upkeep, enchanted creature's controller, that player draws a card. Huh.